Hello, welcome to my another session. In this session, I am discussing about the structure, the types and function of placenta. So let's start. What is placenta? Placenta actually appear at the time of development of fetus or embryo, through which embryo getting the nutrition from the mother body or from the mother tissues or the circulation. Suppose that this is the fetus. Suppose that this is the fetus, and this fetus which has the extra embryonic membrane at the outside and which is known as the chorion. Suppose that this is chorion, and this developing fetus present inside the endometrial wall of uterus. So it present inside the endometrial wall of mother. Suppose that this is the uterine endometrium. So this is the endometrium or the uterine. This is the uterine endometrium. This is the uterine endometrium. So the fetus which present inside the uterine endometrium at the time of development. So at the time of development, a structure is formed through which the fetus getting the nutrition from the mother body. What is the structure? The chorion. Suppose that this is the chorion. A finger-like projection is developed from the chorion. Suppose that this is the chorion, the outer portion of chorion which send out the finger-like projection and penetrate the endometrial tissue of uterus or the mother. So this is the finger-like projection of chorion and which is known as chorionic villi. This is known as the chorionic villi. You say villi or villi. It has two pronunciation, villi or villi, both are correct. So this is the chorionic villi or villi. Such chorionic villi, these are the finger-like projection, comes out from the outer surface of chorion and penetrate into the uterine endometrium. So what happened? The corresponding depression, suppose that this is the endometrial wall and the corresponding depression is formed. The corresponding depression is formed against the villi or the villus, and this depression present inside the uterine endometrium, these depression are known as the crypts. These are known as crypts. So these are known as crypts. So here finger-like projection develops from the chorion and which penetrate the endometrial wall of the mother. This is the maternal endometrium. Also you say that this is the maternal endometrium, through which, suppose that here such chorion, here this chorion which develop the finger-like projection and through which the fetus getting the nutrition from the mother circulation or from the uterus of mother, this structure is known as placenta. So this connection which developed at the time of development of fetus in between maternal endometrium and the fetus or fetal body, this structure is known as the placenta. Now this structure or this connection which is known as placenta. This is known as the placenta. Here, as you observe that the placenta, it has two parts. The part which derived from the endometrial wall of the mother, and this part is known as, suppose that this part this side, this part is known as the maternal placenta. This is known as maternal placenta. The part of placenta which derived from the mother body or the mother uterus or the uterine of the endometrium, this part is known as the maternal placenta. And the part of the placenta derived from the fetus. Suppose that this portion which is known as fetal placenta. This is known as fetal placenta. So what is placenta? Placenta, this is the connection in between the developing fetus and the maternal uterine endometrium. This connection is known as the placenta, through which fetus getting the nutrition from the mother body. And here there is two parts. One is the maternal placenta, the part of placenta derived from the mother endometrium. This part is known as the maternal placenta, and the part of placenta which derived from the fetus, this is known as the fetal placenta. So here you observe that this is the villi which penetrate into the uterine endometrium. So here this type of connection of tissue is known as the interlocking of both tissue. So placenta, it is the interlocking of both tissue, and the structure is developed at the time of development of embryo and fetus, through which fetus getting the nutrition from the mother body, as well as fetus excrete their waste matter or metabolic waste through this placenta. So this is the placenta. And here if you observe this portion, if you take the section, suppose that this portion, this is the this side, two side, this is the maternal side. Suppose that if you take the section, this is the maternal side, and I am making the fetal side. Suppose that this is the fetal side. This is the fetal side. The endometrium, it has, suppose that this is the maternal placenta, this is the maternal placenta, and this side, this is the fetal placenta. Suppose that this is fetal placenta. So this is the two part of the placenta. This side, this is the maternal placenta, and this side, this is the fetal placenta. Both have the blood capillaries. So there is the blood capillaries, and blood capillaries is lined by endothelium. So this is the endothelium, and this endothelium present in uterus. So this is the uterine endothelium, and the fetal placenta which derived from the chorion here. That's why this is the chorion, and this is the chorionic blood vessel. This is the chorionic blood vessel having the endothelium. So this is known as the chorionic endothelium. This is the chorionic endothelium. And next, the chorion, it has the chorionic connective tissue. So this is the chorionic connective tissue around the blood capillaries. This is the chorionic connective tissue. And here also, this is the wall of uterus and having the connective tissue around the blood vessel. So this is known as the uterine. This is uterine connective tissue. In between or outer surface of the uterus, endometrial, the outer surface of the uterus, there is the epithelial lining, and this epithelium present at the outer surface of the endometrium, and this is known as the endometrial epithelium. This is the endometrial epithelium. And the outer surface of chorion, suppose that this is the chorion, the outer surface of chorion, it has the epithelial lining, and this is known as the chorionic epithelium. So this is the chorionic epithelium. This is known as chorionic epithelium. This is known as chorionic epithelium. So this is the maternal placenta and this is the fetal placenta. This is the blood of mother, the uterine mother circulation here, and this is the blood capillaries of fetus. Both the tissues, both the uterine tissue and the chorionic tissue, they come in contact or they come very closer to each other. That's why there is the exchange of oxygen, nutrient, metabolites, hormones and different minerals, but there is no mixing of blood in the both tissues. And the fetus, which also excrete different types of metabolic waste through this connection by the process of diffusion, but there is no mixing of blood in between the maternal blood and the fetal blood, but there is the exchange of matter taking place by the process of diffusion. So in between the placenta, in between the two blood of the mother and the fetus, there is the six barriers. There is the six barriers of tissues or the membrane. The first barrier, endothelium, the uterine endothelium. The second barrier is the uterine connective tissue. The third barrier is the endometrial epithelium. The fourth barrier, the chorionic epithelium, the fourth barrier. Fifth barrier is the chorionic endothelium, and the sixth barrier or the membrane is the chorionic connective tissue. This is the structure of the placenta, and this is the histology of placenta, and we need this structure at the time of classification of placenta on the basis of histological types. So now come to the different types of placenta. Suppose that this is the placenta or the types of placenta. The placenta, they may be classified on the basis of three broad criteria. One may be on the basis of mode of origin, and on the basis of shape and distribution of villi, on the basis of shape and distribution of villi, and last criteria may be on the basis of histology or histological types. Histological types of placenta. So placenta actually they are classified on the basis of three different criteria here. One is the mode of origin and the shape and distribution of villi and the histological types. Now come to the mode of origin. As you know that each fetus they have four extra embryonic membrane. So at the time of origin of placenta, out of four extra embryonic membranes, some of the membranes are involved. So on the basis of involvement of origin, involvement of extra embryonic membranes at the time of development of placenta. So what are these? So on the basis of involvement of extra embryonic membrane at the time of development of placenta, the placenta may be three types. There may be three types, and you say this is the mode of origin. So what are these? One may be the yolk sac placenta. First one is the yolk sac placenta. The second maybe is the allantoic placenta. And third one may be the chorionic placenta. Here the name indicates that here the yolk sac is involved for the formation of placenta. That's why it is known as the yolk sac placenta. And in allantoic placenta, here allantoic sac is involved for the formation of placenta. And the chorionic placenta, it indicates, the name indicates that the chorion is involved at the time of development of placenta. And this type of placenta is known as the chorionic placenta. In case of yolk sac placenta, suppose that this is the embryo or the fetus. This is fetus. The outside of the fetus, that is the chorionic membrane. This is the extra embryonic membrane, which is known as the chorion. Here yolk sac which present below the fetus, and here the yolk sac which grow and cover the whole extra embryonic space of the embryo or the placenta. And here very small allantois become very small, or it becomes rudimentary here. Suppose that this is the fetus. The outer layer is chorion. But yolk sac it develop and which cover the whole the cavity of amnion, and it occupy the most of the region of the extra embryonic space. And this yolk sac which come in contact with the chorionic membrane and form placenta. That's why this type of placenta is known as the yolk sac placenta. This is known as the yolk sac placenta. And this type of placenta present in marsupials and the metatherians. These are present in metatheria mammals, marsupials, example is kangaroo. So yolk sac placenta, in case of yolk sac placenta, yolk sac take part in the formation of placenta. That's why it is known as the yolk sac placenta. And here the yolk sac which develops more and more and occupy most part of the extra embryonic xylem, and which cover the amnion which cover the amniotic space as well as the embryo, and which come in contact with the chorion and form the placenta. That's why this type of placenta is known as the yolk sac placenta, found in metatherians and marsupials. Now come to the allantoic placenta. Here the same event is happen. Here the yolk sac which becomes rudimentary. Suppose that this is the yolk sac, but the allantois, and this is the fetus. Suppose that this is the fetus, and allantois, here the allantois grow and which cover most part of the extra embryonic space, and which also cover embryo and the amniotic cavity also, and the outer region which is the chorion. The outer is chorion, and this highly growth structure, this is the allantois. This is known as the allantois. The allantois, it grows and it come in contact with the chorion, and which forms the structure which is known as the placenta. And such type of placenta is present in case of eutheria. In case of eutheria, higher mammals. But in case of chorionic placenta, only here, suppose that this is the fetus. This is the fetus. It has yolk sac and the allantois. So this is the yolk sac and this is the allantois. But chorion, which forms finger-like projection known as the chorionic villi, and penetrate into the endometrium and form the placenta, and such a placenta is known as the chorionic placenta. In chorionic placenta, chorion take main part for the formation of placenta, and such type placenta present in man and apes. So chorionic placenta present in human, this is important. The chorionic placenta present in human, this is important. So this is the mode of origin or the involvement of extra embryonic membrane. They are classified into three types: yolk sac placenta, allantoic placenta, and the chorionic placenta. Now come to the another criteria. This is the shape and distribution of villi. On the basis of shape and distribution of villi, the placenta, it may be three types. One may be the non-deciduous, or non-decidua or non-deciduate. The second may be the deciduous, and third one may be the contradeciduous. So these are the three types. One is the non-deciduous or the non-deciduate. The second one may be the deciduous. Third one is the contradeciduous. In case of non-deciduous, there is the no intimacy in between fetus and the uterus. In case of deciduous, there is the intimacy. The more intimacy is present in between the fetus and the uterine tissue. But in case of contradeciduous, there is the highly intimacy in between the fetus and the uterine tissue. In case of non-deciduous, suppose that this is the chorionic villi. It not form branch, so there is no branching of the chorionic villi. It penetrates into the uterine tissue. That's why at the time of delivery, easily such chorionic villi withdraw from the uterine tissue. So there is no bleeding and there is no repulsion of the endometrial tissue at the time of delivery. So easily these chorionic villi may withdraw from the uterine tissue. This is known as the non-deciduous, non-deciduate. There is no intimacy in between the fetus and the uterine tissue. But and such type of non-deciduous placenta found in case of horse, cow, sheep. These are the some of the example. One is the camel. There is the non-deciduate type of placenta. And in case of deciduous type of placenta, there is somehow intimacy. The chorionic villi which forms branch. The branching of chorionic villi may taken place. That's why at the time of delivery, some of the endometrial tissue may come out at the time of delivery, and which may causes the bleeding at the time of delivery. And such type of placenta is known as the deciduate or deciduous placenta, and such deciduous placenta present in dog, in cat, in human also, and such type placenta also present in elephant. These are the some of the example. In non-deciduate there is no intimacy, in deciduous there is the intimacy. But in case of contra-deciduous, there is the high intimacy in between the fetus and the uterine tissue or the uterine body. That's why at the time of delivery, some part of the fetus left out inside the uterine tissue, and such portion of the placenta or the fetus, it may dissolve or absorbed by the leukocyte of the uterine tissue, and such type placenta is known as the contra-deciduous. Contra-deciduous placenta actually present in mole or known as the tulpa. This is known as the tulpa. This is the scientific name, the mole. There is the high intimacy in between the fetus and the uterine tissue. At the time of delivery, some portion of the fetus left out into the uterine tissue, and such portion may reabsorbed by the leukocyte of uterus. Again, these non-deciduate and deciduous type of placenta may classified in several ways. But in case of higher secondary level, in plus 2 level, it is not our syllabus. So I omit this type of classification here. But you have to only remember only the name and the example. The very important example, the human placenta is the deciduous type of placenta. In first section, the human placenta, which is the chorionic placenta. Here, the human placenta, which is the deciduous placenta. Now I am discuss the types of placenta on the basis of histology. So histological types. So there are several types of placenta on the basis of histology, and you say that histological types of placenta are there. So on the basis of histology, there are several types of placenta may be present. One is maybe the epitheliochorial placenta. One may be the epitheliochorial placenta. Epitheliochorial placenta. As I told earlier that in case of placenta, there are 6 membrane or the 6 tissues in between the blood of mother and the blood of fetus. Suppose that this is the maternal placenta and this is the fetus placenta. Here, this is the fetal blood capillary, and this is the maternal blood vessels, and here is the blood, and in between there is the 6 membranes or the 6 barriers or the 6 tissue barriers are present from mother to fetus. These are the uterine endothelium, the uterine connective tissue, the endometrial epithelium, and this is the fetus. This is the fetal part. This is the chorionic epithelium, the chorionic endothelium, and the connective tissue of the chorion. These are the 6 membrane. If 6 barriers are present as well, and both the epithelium or the epithelia, they come in contact with each other, and which forms the placenta through which exchange of material taking place. This type of placenta is known as the epitheliochorial placenta. So this type of placenta is known as the epitheliochorial placenta, and this placenta found in case of pig. In case of pig. The another type of placenta may be the syndesmochorial placenta. Another type of placenta, second one, is known as the syndesmochorial placenta. Syndesmochorial placenta. So what happened here actually? And this type of placenta found in cattle, in sheep, etc. So in case of syndesmochorial placenta, there is the breakdown of endometrial epithelium. There is the breakdown or destruction of endometrial epithelium. So now only 5 barriers are present here. This is this structure. Now the blood or the tissues of mother come in contact with the chorionic epithelium, and this type of placenta is known as the syndesmochorial placenta. In case of syndesmochorial placenta, there is the breakdown of endometrial epithelium. That's why the blood of mother directly come in contact with the chorionic epithelium, and this type of placenta is known as the syndesmochorial placenta and found in cattle and sheep. Now come to the another type of placenta, which is known as the endothelial placenta. The third one may be the endothelial placenta, and such type of placenta may present in case of cat, in case of dog. So when 6 barriers present, then the placenta is known as the epitheliochorial placenta. If the epithelium of uterus, the endometrial epithelium, if destroyed or breakdown, then the only 5 barriers are present. Such type of placenta is known as the syndesmochorial placenta. And now another barriers may break down in case of endothelial placenta. In case of endothelial placenta, the connective tissue of uterus which breakdowns. That's why this type of placenta is known as, so the uterine connective tissue which break down, and this type of placenta is known as the endothelial placenta. This type of placenta is known as the endothelial placenta. And now come to the another type of placenta, which is known as the hemochorial placenta. So the fourth number, hemochorial placenta. It is important because this placenta present in human. In case of human. So how many barriers now present here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if 6 barrier presents epitheliochorial, one is breakdown, then it is known as the epithelium. Uterine epithelium is breakdown, then the placenta is known as the syndesmochorial. If the connective tissue as well as the epithelium are broken down, then the placenta is known as the endotheliochorial. Now another barrier may break down, and the uterine endothelium, which present around the blood vessels. Now there is the breakdown of endothelium, uterine endothelium, or the endothelium of blood vessels. That's why the blood directly come in contact with the epithelium of chorion. So directly blood of mother come in contact with the chorionic epithelium, and this type of placenta is known as the hemochorial placenta. Hemo means blood, chorial means chorion. So chorion directly come in contact with the blood. That's why it is known as the hemochorial placenta. In case of endotheliochorial, so the endothelium directly come in contact with the chorion. That's why such type of placenta is known as the endotheliochorial. So here, in case of human, blood directly come in contact with the chorionic epithelium because there is the breakdown of endothelium of blood vessels of uterus. Now come to the last type of the placenta. There is the again another barrier may break down. This is the chorionic epithelium. It may break down. So what happened? Now the blood directly come in contact with the connective tissue of the chorion, and this type of placenta is known as the hemoendothelial placenta. The fifth number is hemoendothelial placenta. And such placenta present in case of, for example, in case of rat, in case of rabbit. So this is the hemoendothelial placenta which present in case of rat and the rabbit. If 6 barriers present, then this is known as the endothelium. In case of syndesmo, only 5 barriers present. One is breakdown from the uterine side. Endotheliochorial, 2 barriers breakdown from the uterine side. Hemochorial placenta, again 3 barriers may break down from the uterine side, and hemoendothelial placenta. In this condition, the 3 from the uterine side and 1 from the fetal side barriers may break down, and this type of placenta is known as the hemoendothelial placenta, present in rat and the rabbit. Now come to the different functions of the placenta. Placenta performs different functions. So one may be the nutrition. The fetus, it get different types of nutrient matter from the mother body and through placenta. So the placenta, it has the main important function. This is the nutrition. The second important function, it may be the respiration. The fetus, it gets oxygen from mother body and release carbon dioxide mother body, from fetus to mother body through the placenta. So the fetus, it gets oxygen which passing from the mother body to the fetus, and carbon dioxide which passes from fetus to mother body through placenta. Another function may be the excretion. The different excretory or the metabolic waste which passes to the mother body through the placental circulation. Through the placenta, the fetus, it can exit different waste matter to the mother body, so it helps for the excretion. Another function may be the storage. The placenta, it may store glycogen, or somehow it can store the fat and some of the nutrient also stored in the placenta for the fetus. So the placenta, it has the main role, that is the storage of the glycogen and the fat. The placenta, which act as the barrier in between the fetus and the mother. That's why the fetus, it may prevented from the different types of infectious agent not transmit from mother to baby because of the presence of different barriers. Another function of the placenta, that may be the endocrine function. Endocrine function, it means placenta may secrete different types of hormones. So at the time of pregnancy, placenta secretes human chorionic gonadotropin. It may secrete the human placental lactogen hormone. It may secrete estrogen, and it may also secrete the progesterone to maintain the pregnancy. So placenta, it has different types of function. So main function, these are the nutrition, respiration, excretion, storage and barriers, as well as it acts as the endocrine part of the body. So at the time of pregnancy, the placenta, it releases different hormones like human chorionic gonadotropin, human placental lactogen, estrogen, progesterone, which maintain the pregnancy. So this is the whole structure and the elaborate types of the placenta, as well as the different function of placenta. Thank you for watching.